Hello and welcome to Walk the Talk Show with Waylon Lewis, coming to you live from Hotel Elephant, actually from the kitchen of Hotel Elephant, which is a room that I never go in, ever. I actually have never really seen my own kitchen before. And that's why we're doing today's video in here. I've invited my dear friend, famous slow food chef, Peggy Markel. She's huge, fame-wise. She travels the whole world doing these culinary adventures in Sicily, Morocco,
Italy.
I got it. Tuscany, Italy generally, India, Thailand, other places. Kind of an amazing lady. And she's here in Boulder about half the year. So she's going to, today is sort of like a remedial lesson for bachelors and bachelorettes who want to be able to invite someone they're interested in over for a date, maybe a fourth date, not the first date, that would be a little bit early. Over to your house and to cook something simple but also impressive. Simple to prep, simple real ingredients from the farmer's market or your local grocery store, and but that's also impressive. So Peggy is an amazing slow food chef. Do you want to come in, Peggy?
Okay.
And she's going to tell us what's going on. But before we do all that, we're going to prep. You can see some of it's already laid out. And Rachel, you can zoom in at different points. I know the light might be rough. And then we're going to cook, and then I guess we'll eat.
Yeah.
And throughout it, we'll talk about what is slow food and what is the problem in terms of our relationship with food and diet in the U.S. We'll reference some great quotes from Jamie Oliver and Michael Pollan. But we're going to begin, because we're both from the Buddhist tradition, with a little moment of mutual respect and a reminder of our mission, whether you're Buddhist or not, just trying to be a benefit and enjoy life. And that'll be the bow. And then we'll do a little meditation.
Okay.
All right. So I'll lead the bow. Basically, you can be standing or sitting. Doesn't matter. Either way, you can root your butt if you're sitting or your feet if you're standing, and really connect with the principle of the earth. You can close your eyes if you like. Take a little breath and just really feel the solidity, the nurturing relaxation of the strong earth below that extends for hundreds of miles. And then you can, once you've rooted and grounded, you can feel the heavens above. This isn't some crazy hippie thing. This is very basic to being human. You can feel the space, the heavens above. That's considered to be the realm of inspiration or vision, great ideas, your mission in life. And then you can connect the two through a good deep breath into your heart, which is the realm of friendship, human relationships. And then you can breathe out, kind of forcefully, open your eyes, and that's it. And then offer a bow. So that's my little, not mine, the Buddhist tradition's super brief little bow and kind of reconnecting with being human. Mm-hmm. If you've had a stressful day, and a lot of people in kitchens are always stressed out. So, but you have a little...
Oh, well, you know, when you're in somebody else's kitchen, what I like to do, because you can feel like, it actually feels really good in here, Waylon. I'm surprised, and I'm proud, you know. But what I like to do, often if it's not sort of my own kitchen, or I'm not just in there doing, you know, what I do every day, which I don't do,
kitchen,
you know, a lot every day since I'm on the road most of the time. But I like to clear the energy in the kitchen. And you do that just by clapping your hands. See, that was actually not a bad sort of clap, meaning maybe the energy in here is pretty good. And that just sort of dispels any of the other energy that may just be hanging around, you know. And we want to enliven. We want to enliven the kitchen today by sort of like spelling all that other energy out to make room for us to be creative.
I love it.
Okay, are you ready?
Did you just make that up, or
no,
is that just from some tradition?
Oh, you know, I studied macrobiotics. I studied, you know, 30 years ago.
Macrobiotics are from Japan a little bit, right?
Yeah,
because that's the Japanese.
Traditional.
When you go to the kami shrine or a Japanese shrine, you'll clap and then you bow.
There you go.
Clap and you bow.
Probably is from those old days.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
That, huh?
And you're not only clearing the energy, but you're kind of, you know, historically like calling down the gods or the good energy.
Yeah, well, that's what we're trying to do.
I love that.
So the first thing we're going to do, we have to get...
But can I just, I love that, just real quick.
Yeah.
Because, like you were saying, you're in random kitchens all the time. All of us are for parties. And then but I've been in a lot of kitchens in my
Mhm.
life, especially when I was younger, and there's always so much speed and aggression. So it's
Yeah.
kind of practical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's good. So we should talk a little bit about the menu.
And if
And
you can
then
sneak
we're
over
going to
here a
get,
little bit.
then we'll get busy because I need to get these onions sauteed.
Okay. So what do we have going on?
So what I wanted to offer to you today, we're going to get the onions and then we're going to talk about it, and then we can prep and talk at the same time. So, you know, you're always like, I know that you're vegan. I don't think you spend any time cooking. I don't hardly know in the sense of what you eat or how, but I know that you're also a bachelor, and, you know, can we just say what this year is for you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
You're going to be 40 this year.
I'm going to be 40 in a couple months.
In a couple of months. And so I'm thinking it's really time for you to start working this plan, because I know that's what you want. You want to get married. You want to have children. So we need to...
mostly want to have children.
Yeah, I know
yes.
you mostly want to have children. But anyway, one dish that you can make that will be really sweet.
Can I jump in real quick? So how this is really accessible to everybody is I'm like a tough case. I don't cook. I'm nearly 40. And a lot of people out there don't cook that much. So I'm a good example of like a tough case. Yeah,
that's true.
Don't worry about it.
I would say that that's correct. And we can get into all the philosophy about cooking, you know, as we get along here. But this is just a cream of asparagus and leek soup that we're going to puree. Now, when I say cream, I don't mean cream. It means like a creamy soup.
Oh, that's the other way. I'm a tough case. I'm vegan. So
yeah, so you're vegan.
Limited.
And I think that beautiful pureed vegetable soups are one of the most delicious, nourishing, also beautiful soups in the world. And I see them on my travels, you know, and it's obviously a French influence, which is always nice. But it doesn't mean that since you're vegan and since you don't cook that you can't produce something beautiful. And in this case, you know, you think soup, that's not a good thing for me to serve to, you know, a date. And I'm thinking you're wrong. You want to delight your date with something beautiful.
Yeah, so before this conversation, we were trying to figure out what, because Peggy is by no means vegan, what we could do that is vegan that you actually appreciate just on its own merits. And you were suggesting the soup that we're going to make. And I said, soup, that doesn't sound impressive. That's not going to impress any girl I invited over. And you said, no. Number one, you can call it by some fancy name, right?
Yeah.
Which is key.
The passato di asparagi.
Yeah, now I feel romantic. You know. Passato di asparagi or something.
That's right.
And we'll put that in the blog. And then also that it is a wonderful, simple thing to do.
Yeah. So can we get these onions in? And then I'm going to put you to work.
Do you want to come more over here and you can...
Well, we're going to do this. Just
okay.
I'm going to put this there. This will be the easiest thing
I have a fancy cutting board, even though I don't cook.
Put it here, just for now. And we're going to turn on your stove, Waylon.
All right. The front one?
Yes.
And do you want high heat or medium?
Well, first of all, I'm going to put in a little bit of this olive oil. What I have for you is a Tunisian...
Beautiful olive oil.
Tunisian olive oil today.
Peggy's super into her olive oil.
Yeah.
It's good to have a dark glass, right?
Glass to keep it. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole discussion.
Look at this. I got fancy olive oil.
But don't get too distracted because I want to get these olive
oil. Okay. Sorry. I'll focus.
Oh, good. Look at you. Okay. Okay, Waylon. What we've done, I want to see that. That's really interesting. Good. But not right now. I do. Let's put it here.
Okay. Don't be distracted. That's the first good lesson.
That's right. So keep your mind on what you're doing because now you have oil in the pot. So this is just a yellow onion that I've cut up because it's the base of the soup. So I'd like for you to put the onions in. So
basically you did a little prep first. You just sliced them up. I'm going to wash my hands.
Oh, yes.
But slicing onion is super easy, right?
Yes. I mean, there's a way to show you how to cut an onion that I could show you if we have time.
Okay.
But let's move along.
So basically we slice, is this a special kind of fancy onion or?
This is just a yellow onion.
Okay.
An organic yellow onion.
Can you get it at all closer? It'd be cool to see it in the pan, or I can just hold it up for you for a second.
And guess what I have for you? An early birthday present.
Wow. A paddle to spank me?
Yes.
For being a bad cook?
This is a lemonwood spoon from Marrakesh that I brought you.
Wow, it's beautiful.
So I want you to use it today. You can use it straight away.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do I just stir it?
Yes, you do. Now.
Look at me cooking.
That's pretty nice.
This is easy. I'm such a good cook. So basically I keep it from sticking.
Yeah, you just stir it around because what's going to happen is the
It's
onion.
on pretty high heat.
The onion will start to, give up its juices, and so that's what will also give you a little liquid to, saute the onion in. And so we'll also add a little bit of salt because that'll help also draw some of that liquid out of your onion.
So that was just a little normal table salt. We also have fancy salt that Peggy brought.
Well, this is, Celtic, and this is sea salt, so it's not normal table salt.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't use normal table salt.
Right.
It's good sea salt.
So salt's important.
Salt's
Good salt.
incredibly important. So we're going to put this over here. And I'm just wondering.
This is my kind of job. I just stand here looking like I'm cooking.
Now, Waylon.
I need to pour wine in it to look like a cook.
No, you don't need to pour wine in it.
Okay.
So the asparagus is over here.
Okay.
Now,
should I come over?
I'm going to just turn that down just a little bit, and then I'll come over and
What do I do with a spoon so I don't burn it?
Right now, let's just
put it here?
You could, not with the heat is on. Let's put it there.
That's a good lesson.
Okay.
If you're dumb like me, you'd put it there and burn your spoon.
Your brand new spoon.
My brand new spoon from Marrakesh.
Okay. So
It's important to eat.
Well, what you're doing is, you're going to break the asparagus right where you feel it wants to break, because then that's where sort of the more tender part of the asparagus lies. So
one at a time?
Do that. Yes, one at a time. Okay.
And then you compost the ends?
Yes. You could also make a broth.
I know, they're kind of good.
That if you wanted to use in soup, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that. It'd be perfect for us to use as a broth. Well, maybe we could. It's just
So
your
I'm
burner.
just like naturally finding where it breaks.
Yes.
Nothing to it.
Yes. And then you're going to...
And then this stuff is actually good. You can put it in salad. Or in your mouth. That's one of the best things about cooking is eating half of it before you make it.
I like this.
This is like the third time I've ever worn my apron. Big day. All right.
Okay.
Do I bring them over? You already washed them?
Just bring over your whole cutting board. Why don't you do that? And put it right here. I think that might be better.
This cutting board weighs like 20 pounds.
Now here's 2 knives.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think this will be good.
So it's good to have sharp knives. I don't really have sharp knives.
Yeah.
So the onions look totally different. They're like see-through now.
Well, they're getting transparent, we call them.
It's kind of beautiful.
Which is good. Okay, so now you want to cut those asparagus, please. And
Cut them?
Yeah, to like 2 inches.
Okay.
But leave your tips. Cut your tips first. So cut it off about...
So you have a bunch of pretty tips?
There, so you have pretty tips.
Okay.
And then we'll decide what we're going to save some.
So you're saying just the tip?
Yeah.
That's cooking tip from Peggy Markel. Just the tip. All right.
Okay.
I actually am good at cutting. That's one of the few things I'm good at. So then like an inch each?
Just how about in 3, 3 cuts? Because basically we're going to...
Comme ça.
Actually, yeah, comme ça. We're going to blend the soup. So
here's another tip I learned, even though I've never done it. You don't scrape stuff off with the knife. You do it upside down. That way you don't dull the knife.
That's right. So, Waylon, we're going to keep, actually, not only just some chips, but I think we're going to keep,
this is the only thing
we're just going to keep that, and then we're going to put this in here.
These two?
Mm-hmm.
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
In with the onions.
Mm-hmm.
Onions got company.
Okay. Now, see your leeks over there?
Uh-huh.
I've already washed the leeks, and I'll tell you one important thing.
You want the garlic or anything?
That's for later. You can bring it over if you want.
It's beautiful.
Okay, so...
Do I cut this up? I see you've already sliced it in half.
Yeah, because you want to be able to clean a leek well, you have to cut it down lengthwise, and you want to get in here to make sure there's no sand or dirt.
Oh.
So now I'd like you to cut it up to about right there.
From where? From the top?
No, from here. Now, maybe I'll
So
take
cut
this.
off the two ends, right?
Let me tell you something before you do that.
Okay. But don't do it. I want to do it.
Look, this right here.
Learn by doing.
This root.
Yeah.
Aveline Kushi. Aveline Kushi. You know Michio Kushi. We're talking macrobiotics again. She said, you know, don't cut off your root because this is $1 million medicine. That means
it's like the best
if
part.
you don't eat it, you spend $1 million in hospital.
Wow.
So we just want to like trim the part that you're not going to eat there.
Can you eat that?
Well, it's a little tough, you know. It just means don't whack off the whole thing.
Don't whack off.
Yeah. Okay.
The whole thing.
So now, would you slice those? And I usually slice on the diagonal.
Okay.
I have to show you what I mean.
I can do it. I got that.
You know?
And then like an inch?
Yeah,
or
you
less?
know?
Oh, a lot less. Oh, super
Like
tight.
that.
Okay.
All right.
Are you left-handed?
I am.
Oh.
So you have to turn yours around.
Don't whack off. Trust the tip.
We are talking to, do you think mostly bachelors here? I am really proud of you.
You were proud of me until I dropped all that.
I was, yeah. But let's don't get this too mixed up. Now I'm going to go.
Oh, sorry. God, it's complicated. Can't do it. Forget it. All right.
I want to keep things as
So the one thing
as possible.
I grew up like helping in Buddhist kitchens, and they taught me how to cut well. You keep your nails forward, so if you cut your hand, you don't cut off your fingers, kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also like basically keep the knife grounded in the front. So you have this nice like swivel thing, and you can cut pretty darn precisely.
What's really great.
Here, I'll plug that in.
What's really great, Waylon?
We have this like film crew of 12 people here, so it's pretty crowded in here. Tough conditions.
What's really great is that for most people who don't know how to cook,
Mm-hmm.
they certainly don't know how to use a knife. So the fact that you know how to use a knife is really great.
It's the only thing I know, other than I'm good at washing things, maybe.
That's good too. You need to have confidence in the kitchen. It's usually that, you know, you worry about like that you don't know something or that you can't do it, and that'll keep you from wanting to do it.
Yeah, it's intimidating though. We were going to talk about that. I'm intimidated.
That's good. Don't go any further than that.
Oh, because you don't want that part?
I don't want that part. I'm going to use it for something else. So will you now put that part of the leek in here? And then,
all this?
Yes. And then we're going to work on the other piece.
Okay. And I cut that okay, not too fat?
No, it's beautiful. Really beautiful.
Right.
As I said, it's going to be a blended soup. The reason I want it small.
And then I put it in. Can you get a little shot of what's already in there? And then we're going with all the leeks.
It's just that it'll help it cook a little quicker since we have a short amount of time.
What, this will help it?
When you slice it thin. It's already looking delicious.
Should I cut the other one too?
Please.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to add a little salt.
Do you want to get a close-up of the knife? Just because it's the only thing I can do well. Oh, you already did. My mom's going to be proud.
Well, she gave you good sensibilities because she cooked, right?
She cooked a lot, but
yeah.
So the reason I don't cook that much, which is kind of maybe not that relevant to most people, is I used to cook a lot of basic, like classic American stuff, like pancakes and eggs and bacon and hamburgers and salads and stuff. And then I became vegan, and I basically, like, all I can do is make good salads and, like, Bachelor, eco, vegan nachos all the time.
Okay, that's good. Let's put that in.
So, but it's wonderful to cook, which I never do, because you feel like you're, like, making your own clothing. You're like, you have this pride of ownership, you know. You have this, like, relationship with it. So you're not putting a lid on.
No, not yet. Because we're not ready. Okay, so another thing that I like to do, especially with soup, is you build the soup up from the bottom. Okay. You don't like put your broth. You know, our mothers used to do it that way. My mother used to do it that way. And they would cut like this. They would use their knife and cut up here. Wow. And so you had this sort of washing machine effect going on in this big pot of water, not very flavorful soups. So then they had to use bouillon cubes and that sort of thing to kind of add flavor. So this is a delicious way to start building your soup from the bottom up. So we sauteed our onion. Now we have the asparagus in there. We have the leek in there. And
the heat's medium, kind of.
yeah, I'm just turned it down a little bit because I'm going to actually put some of this hot water in there to kind of speed things along. And then we'll have the basics. Actually, maybe we'll put some. You could just leave the soup like this and make it super simple, but I always like to add a little bit. So I brought look at my little Indian spice kit.
Wow.
It's really cute, and I traveled with it. Unfortunately, it turned over, so it won't be as clean, but I wanted to use a little bit of ginger in the soup today, so we'll just turn like that. Yeah, it does smell good, doesn't it?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Makes me want to go down to Sherpa's.
Yeah. Well, you won't need to.
I won't need to. It smells better even.
Put it over there.
It smells so good the camera woman has to smell it. Isn't that amazing?
And we got a little cumin in there for you too.
What smells so good? All of it?
Yeah, all of it. Okay. So we're going to use this hot water here. Now the first thing you do.
Okay, we're pouring hot water. Yeah, you got it. Yes.
Is just.
That was a lot of water.
Yeah, to cover the vegetables. Right?
I just want to walk around. I want to make a men's cologne.
Then you can also add more later, but since we're making this pureed soup, we don't want to make it too thin because we want it to be thick, actually.
Manly.
Yeah. So now we'll turn this back up and we'll cover it with a lid and we'll let that cook, right?
Beautiful.
Okay, so we're doing fine, and then we'll turn it down in just a wee bit. Now, we have a few things we can do. I think we should just continue to prep. How about that? Okay.
Great.
So let's move this out of the way.
Can I ask you a question?
It's always nice, I just want to tell you, Waylon, to have a bowl around to put some of your scraps in. Because then that way, if you wanted to make a broth out of them, you could, like a vegetable stock, or you put them in your compost.
Or salad.
And it helps keep things neat. Like, I'll put these in here too.
So can I ask you random questions while we go?
Yeah.
So what is slow food?
We've talked about this 1,000 times.
I know, but for people who are just tuning in, it's a movement that rose up in opposition, obviously, to fast food on some level.
Yes, 1986. It was a long time ago, and it was started by Carlo Petrini, and he's from a small town in northern Italy called Bra, B-R-A.
Bra.
Yeah, funny enough.
Awesome.
And so he and a bunch of his friends actually wanted to make a difference and to not have it be sort of a supper club, but actually have a political influence. And he called it a movement, the slow food movement, in defense of our rights to pleasure. So in defense of our rights to pleasure, what does that mean? Well, it means that we deserve to have foods that are grown in good soil, that have good flavor, that we eat in season, and that we've also gotten or continued this lineage from our grandparents and great-grandparents about what good food is, and that has certainly been lost a bit. So there is a movement that goes around the country now and all over the world about how to eat well and appreciate where the food is coming, and to support the farmers and people who are taking all that time and effort to actually grow food, prepare it well, and serve it in a loving way.
I love it because there's like nothing liberal or hippie about supporting farmers.
Yeah.
And there's nothing liberal or hippie about, or eco, about saying, well, this tomato tastes so much better because it was grown in season, locally, in good organic soil. And then a big part of slow food also is how you enjoy the food and how you cook it.
The get-togethers were called conviviums because you get together around the table and you convive. You're eating and talking and tasting. It's a very sensual experience, but it's also very real and communal and familial. And so we lost a bit of that in this country, unfortunately. Because this was sort of the Industrial Revolution sort of like came and sort of blasted and took most of our sort of good sense away. So this was an opportunity to try to bring some of that sensibility back.
But for so many Americans live on their own, the Bachelor, Bachelorette thing, do you recommend we sit down and eat at a table alone instead of watching TV or working or something?
Well, You know, I think the reason that we do try to engage, you know, when we're eating is because it feels less lonely, you know, if we either have a book or, you know, we want to watch television. I think that, you know, it's not the best thing in the world. I mean, I don't even watch television. I know that's kind of unusual for most people, but I might read a book or I might do something like that. But I also think there's really something wonderful, especially if you've taken the time to cook something for yourself. It's a moment in your day where you can reflect. And so if you can sit down, chew, taste, reflect, you know, it's really not so bad to have your own company.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's
And then
wonderful.
you don't overeat because you're fully enjoying it. You don't have to eat more to
That's
get
right.
the
And
same.
if you're like watching some program and you're woofing, you know,
That's totally how I look.
Yeah, I mean, we all sort of want to do that, but no, it's not the best thing at all.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll try that.
Yeah.
Do we need to check in or anything?
What we need to do is put you to work. So let's continue chopping. So here are these beautiful,
these are amazing.
Beautiful Moreau mushrooms. Now, these were foraged in the hills between here and Denver, or outside of Denver. So I got these to be able to use, because, you know, just because you're vegan doesn't mean that you have to have a boring diet. You know, it just means that you're not eating dairy, you're not eating meat, you're not eating eggs, but you have complete, you know, choice over as many vegetables and grains, right, that you want.
Fruits.
And fruits. And a lot of good food. And you know, it's not like I think there's anything wrong with that. I actually pretty much ate that way for the longest time, but, you know, we called it something else.
Right.
And my children were even, you know, raised that way. But
you're a vegan before vegan was vegan.
Ages ago. So I'm completely down with it, you know, so to speak. But because of, you know, what I do, it's very earthy. And because of what I do, I don't like to have restrictions, you know, where I go, and eating regional food, and, you know, again, finding out, you know, who's doing what, and the quality of the food, you know, whether it be also meat or cheese or and eggs, you know, however they use what they use and do what they do, it matches kind of also the climate, their activity, what they're up to in those regions. So, you know, I find that really interesting and very much a part of, you know, like, I think it'd be hard to be vegan if you lived on the sea. Like, you know, you could do it, but you're on a boat on the sea, you know, fish is there, you know, it's,
well, I always say, and I think this is different than a lot of vegans, but I think vegans should be allies with sort of the slow food movement, because factory farming and torturing animals is really the problem, and what it's doing to the environment and to our souls.
And I'm into that. I mean,
and slow food doesn't engage in that, I hope.
No, and you know, and that's the point, you know, is the closer range that you can buy, you know, buy a chicken, or, you know, I don't actually, you know, eat a lot of fish when I'm not near the sea, you know, I hardly at all. And I don't usually eat that much citrus if I'm not where, I mean, I have that opportunity though. You know, a lot of people won't have that opportunity. But when I go, when I can go to the sea, I eat seafood. You know, if I want to eat, I'm trying to think of what else would be specific of that. Oh, well, even like drinking really good French wines or Italian wines, I don't drink them here. They're too expensive. But I would drink them there, you know, because it's also a part of, you know, the flavor, you know, marriage that's happening between the food and the wine, and the terroir, you've heard that word, you know,
earth, like
the sort of the mineral content of the earth that makes a certain, you know, vine taste, you know, takes all of that nutrients, it takes all those nutrients, and then, you know, of course the winemaker has something to do with that, but the real personality of that wine comes from the earth, and so does the food that's grown in that same earth. So that when you're talking about food and wine being paired together, that's what makes that third sort of magical alchemical thing happen, which is like a marriage, you know. So I prefer that. So
it's better if they're all from the same region?
Yeah, but there's a harmony. There's a harmony. And what's been interesting is to be in Morocco, where they don't have a, you know, a culture for wine drinking. Because it's, you know, not part of the religion, to to go there and see make Moroccan food and try some of these beautiful wines that are actually being produced there now because the French influenced that. And so you're picking up on that as if, you know, it's a new discovery because it was never done before, you know. So those kinds of things are fun. So can you slice some morels for me, please?
Yeah, how do I do it?
Actually, this is going to be part of the pasta sauce. So again, you're going to go pretty...
Super thin on a slant.
Yeah, super thin on a slant.
Beautiful.
That would be good. And we also need those
so fast.
little cipollini. So we got to talk and cook at the same time.
Ciccolini?
These little onions, you asked me if the other onions were fancy. No, but these are called cipollini, which in Italian just means little onion.
So do I slice one at a time, or can I put them together?
No, you can definitely. Be efficient.
Okay.
So however you can manage,
Cool.
do so. And
Awesome.
the most important thing about cooking is following your instincts and dropping
I like that.
into as you cut. Think about it, Waylon. You're cutting from your middle, from your hara, if you want to say. You know, and so instinct lies there.
Hara cooking with Peggy Markel.
Too worried about it in your head, then, you know, that's more of a possibility of either cutting yourself or not being, you know, actually tuned into what you're doing. And it's meditative, you know, actually doing what you're doing right now, standing in a good position, you know,
Was that good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Felt good.
You feel all right, right?
I felt great. Do I cut all of them?
Yes, we want everything.
They're beautiful.
So what I'm thinking...
What do they taste like?
You'll find out. They're very earthy, as you say. They're quite beautiful. And we have some fresh peas, and we're going to mix them with a little garlic, a little cipollini.
Cipollini?
Mm-hmm. The morels and the peas. Now, what would be so fantastic on top of that is Parmigiano Reggiano, which we don't have. And I'm actually meant to try to find some breadcrumbs because literally in certain parts of southern Italy, they didn't have cheese to put on their pasta dishes. So they made a very flavorful breadcrumb that was sautéed with herbs and garlic. And they would sprinkle breadcrumbs on their pasta instead of cheese. And so that's something that you could do. And you don't have any bread here, do you?
Probably not. Being a bachelor, I have
sort of meant to bring some. But do remember that, okay? Do remember
gin.
that.
I have gin, vodka, and chips.
I hear you.
All right, I'm all done.
Okay. So what you're going to do is put those in here so they'll be ready. Because what you're doing is, you've heard this before, you'll love it, it's French, the mise en place, everything in its place. So that when we get ready to sort of toss things in, they'll be all set.
Mise en place?
Mise en place.
So that's another term, bachelors, you can throw at your date without really understanding what you're saying. Just sounds cool. Mise en place. What I'm doing here, sweetie, has to do with mise en place.
Mise en place, because
I prefer if you didn't ask more.
So now you need to slice up your onions, please.
The cipollini. These are cipollinis. They're fancy onions because I got you fancy onions, sweetie. What is it? How do I just cut them up?
Yes, but do thinly.
Yeah, thinly.
And maybe with those I'd do one at a time.
Yeah, I tried to. It didn't. That wasn't working out. Is that thin enough?
Yeah, that's good. You have good technique.
And then in half or what?
No, let's leave them like that.
These are a little hard because they're high and they're slippery. Yeah, I did a lot of prep cooking when I was a teenager, but almost none since.
It's good for you. Our soup's looking good?
We made maple syrup too when I lived in Vermont. Took weeks.
Wow.
Do you want these?
Here's another one. Yeah, put those in there.
I like having little bowls for everything. So fancy.
See, I really like the idea that vegan doesn't mean, you know, that you can't cook a beautiful meal.
Look how fast I got on my last one.
Really? Just be sure you go all the way through. That's good.
I did. I got super fast on that one.
Good.
Yeah, I like that. Vegan doesn't mean less.
No, you can still do beautiful, beautiful food.
It's hard. People often...
Put that over there, please.
What, this?
No. That little piece of leek into your... There you go.
Into
See,
my little bowl of scraps.
Bowl of scraps.
Bowl of scrap.
Okay. Now, why don't you cut up some garlic as well?
Okay.
Yeah, maybe one might be enough.
So with garlic, often it has a skin on it usually, and you can press it down and then take off the skin, and then you cut off the little end, right?
Yes. Some people cut out the middle. I don't usually.
I don't. And then you can put that in your bowl of scrap?
Yes. Now, as I was thinking we'd only use one, but let's use two because you probably would love it.
I love garlic.
Okay.
But we can do only one.
Well, I'm just trying to be subtle here. Plus, you have to think about you have a date, right?
Yeah, let's just do one.
Yeah. It'll, you know, we'll.
It's not all about me.
We'll cook it well.
Do I cut it in half or anything?
No, you're doing fine.
Or slice it. So it's really important to do the nail thing correctly because it's really like hard, at least for me. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's not for Peggy, but. Do I just put it in the bowl with the cipollinis?
No, just leave it there because we're about to.
Okay.
I have to decide if I'm going to put that pasta in right now. Because now we're going to move on to making your pasta sauce. All right.
Okay.
I think we can do that. So
pasta?
Yes, but first we'll have to put like a good handful. Oh, a good handful of salt in your water. That's how much you want to use for pasta water. Because you don't. This is that beautiful Celtic salt, right? That's something I got you.
You can talk.
Now, Waylon, while we're waiting for this, why don't you...
Dates aren't allowed to talk when they're in the kitchen.
So while you're at it, because you can also get familiar with talking and prepping, you want to cut up, chop up this cilantro and parsley. We'll just cut them together. It'll be fine. Okay.
Where's the parsley? In there?
Yeah. We're going to save some of these out so you can have a garnish.
It looks like cilantro to me.
It's cilantro and parsley.
Oh. Okay, so you're saving a little for garnish. Just of the cilantro? Cool. I'm going to have to watch this video for myself. So then, do I just cut it up as usual?
Yep.
So this is sort of like hard to cut because it's all over the place, so I'm just gathering it up.
But you know how to do the other sort of cut? I'll show you. Just let me.
The choppy cut?
Well, the one where you use your hand like so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So then you just keep.
I haven't done that forever though.
You know, over and over and over and over.
Forgot.
So
cool. Yeah.
Do that. Right. Okay.
You can go different directions, and then you kind of gather it back up. I forgot this one actually. Oh yeah, and then you can go really fast. Get it really small. And then it smells really good.
Waylon, you're doing a great job.
Well, this part's probably easy, but thank you. Yeah. Thank you for encouraging me. I hope this is making riveting television. But it's nice not to be talking about stuff and actually doing it for people.
That's true.
For the people.
Where was one of those matches? Do you know where they went? The matches?
Oh, I don't know. I gave them to there. She put them back like a good girl. Unlike me. Should I just keep making it smaller over here?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Good. I'm so
Peggy's
pleased.
basically assigning me the busy work, which is smart.
Well, you like to chop. So
I do, exactly.
So we put this soup on simmer in the back burner here. It's because we want this burner to be free.
Right there. Soup on simmer on the back burner.
Okay, now I think we have everything we need there. So, okay, Waylon.
Vegan cruelly killing a plant. Is this small enough?
Yes. Now, do we want this any differently? 1, 2, 3.
We're getting pretty small here.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes. What I'm going to do now, I keep forgetting that thing is pop the pasta in, and we're gonna like cook the sauce at the same time that the pasta is cooking. Okay. I'm just using di cecco because it's what we have and it's good, and I'm not gonna make it that much.
I have fancy pasta.
What do you want? What do you have?
I have local pasta. I'm really into my pasta. Don't look at my drawers. There's nothing in them. So they're all like fancy flavors, but you might want something.
No. I want plain.
I know, but just look. I have a bunch.
No.
That's less fancy. Maybe that's
so what's this one?
of that.
No.
Bachelors and pasta.
Okay.
A
I'm just
marriage
sticking
made in
this
heaven.
in because I like it's spaghettini, which is very thin, and I want you to be able to taste the sauce today. And so it's not about the pasta; it's about the sauce.
Yeah. You heard it here first. Pasta doesn't matter.
Right.
Peggy Markel, pasta doesn't matter. It's going to be a Pinterest quote. Pasta makers.
It does matter. It matters that it's good and that it actually holds up.
No, I'm just teasing you.
You know, and you want to have if you can get really good pasta, you know, that's been, you know, forced through bronze dyes and grown in a certain place.
But you want a more plain pasta for this dish.
I know all about that, and I love those, and you can't get them here easily. And if you do, you'd pay $6 or $8. So.
Well, the company I had here is great, but none of my pastas were plain or were simple. They're all flavored. All right, the pasta's in there. Yeah, but it's boiling.
It's also not.
Put the salt. Huh?
Yeah, put the salt.
Oh, hey, you want some?
Oh, there they are. I couldn't find them. Okay, because you know why? It's also like
this one's signed by Jose Rosenberg, top chef guy. Can't really read it anymore. It says keep on cooking.
But you know, most chefs actually, they keep like a little, they call it a dolcione. The Italians do. So you always have this.
Have a little towel
so that you don't, they don't have time to use, you know, hot pads. So they're always whipping these things out, and they use them in 1,000 ways, you know, to move their pots like that, or to pick up their hot lids.
I like it.
It's a kind of cool thing.
That's cool. You get that?
Okay, now, oil in the pan.
Okay.
Here you go.
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
How much?
Just generous. Give it like a little, that's it. That's good. Now we'll put in your onion.
Get your lid. Onion.
Right there.
Cipollini. All of it?
Yes. There's a famous cyclist in Italy called Cipollini. I actually know him. I've met him before. He had thighs as big around as 2 years put together.
I have pretty big thighs.
Now, you want to do this?
Sure.
Now, that may seem like a generous amount of olive oil for most people, but I spend time in places, you know, like Tuscany for most.
That smells good.
Most of the time. Or Sicily, or, you know, but Italians just use a lot of oil because it's actually really good for you. And
it smells amazing.
The oil carries the message to the rest of the food. So the more you flavor your oil, the more delicious your dish will be.
Isn't a lot of olive oil fake? It's not actually olive oil. I read that in the New Yorker.
Well, you know, what they may mean by that is that they use a lot of refined oils and then put only a small amount of oil of, say, extra virgin in. So there's a huge controversy. It could take ages, you know, to discuss olive oil, which I would love to do. Let's do that one day. Let's have a show on.
My eyes.
Okay, now can you put the garlic in, please?
Yeah.
Okay. You can do this. You want it? See, you want to grab it. See, that's good. Now I would put.
So you do it like this. I was just kind of moving it around.
Yeah, just do what comes natural.
All right.
Okay, let's put your morels.
And then how do I lay this down? Like that?
You can do that for a second. Yeah.
Okay. Like that?
Yep.
All of it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, now it doesn't seem like that much oil.
But you really want to move it around. So get underneath there. Yeah, you can actually do this way and hold on to the pan.
Can't handle the pressure.
And do this. You know, really get in there.
Oh, because I was being all like.
Yeah, you're stuffing it. So then at this point, because you know you can do this too, you can, you know, toss it back and forth a little bit.
I could totally do that.
You can totally do that.
I need to work on that. That's a good move.
Salt. You got to make sure there's salt here.
Okay, so some salt, but not too much. A couple pinches.
Yeah.
Now I'm moving around like a man, right?
Yeah. Now I would, because I'm not afraid to, use even a little more oil.
Oh,
because those mushrooms will love that.
And then I want to flip it around, right?
Yeah. First of all, there you go. That's good. Okay, good. It's sort of this.
I got it.
Okay. Good enough. Good.
No,
Good.
I want to flip it.
Well, you have to go out, not
I know.
up.
I'm trying. There, did you see
Straight
that?
out. That's right. That's it. That's it.
Oops.
Good.
Sorry.
Tasting good already.
Yeah, you spill, you get to eat.
Mm-hmm.
My kind of punishment.
Now you want to put your peas in.
Okay. All of it?
Yeah.
These peas were handpicked by monks and nuns on the hills of Elba.
Now we actually.
These peas were hand polished by the children of eunuchs. From beyond the white wall. Can I flip it again?
Sure. But just not so fast.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get the forward back thing.
There you go. Good. Now we'll put the asparagus in. So onions.
So now, wow,
mushrooms.
How's this thing doing? Do you check that?
Yeah, garlic. I'm just trying to see how many. So peas, asparagus. Oops.
Ooh.
So your food talks to you. You need to use your senses, right? Because you need to listen, see, and you need to watch, and you need to smell.
You stir it?
Yes. Well, we can have a look there.
Should I stir it?
I was going to get you another.
A different stirring thing?
Well.
You don't want this?
No, I like to keep things integral.
Keep dropping stuff. Can't.
And you want to be able to check your pasta once in a while too.
So you notice I had a clean wooden spoon ready for you.
I did notice that. And then you bite it, you know.
Uh-huh.
And you want to look in there and see. You want a hairline, sort of al dente, you know, like a hairline white
of solid.
Of solid, I guess you could say.
Because it'll keep cooking a little bit once you take it out.
Mm-hmm.
So it needs a little more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm not. My dad would always talk about how Cary Grant was a huge movie star because he knew how to frame himself for every shot on the camera. I'm obviously not like that.
Now, is that going to hurt anything if I add a little bit of
Yeah, go for it.
water?
The water.
Because it'll help to
Help cook it.
It'll help sort of steam, because you're not really making a sauce, because it can't be too saucy, right?
Right.
So we could have cut those smaller, but
What,
it's
the
actually
asparagus?
kind of nice because
The
it's sort of-
Morel?
No, the asparagus.
Sorrel is the boot.
Smells good. Okay.
The asparagus could have been smaller.
Yeah, but I like that it's because you can.
It would be a nice bite.
Yeah. How come that's not? No.
Are we good?
I need to get over here.
All right. Can I flip it again?
Yeah, just keep. But you know, I think what I would like to do even is put a lid on it because I want this to. We can use this lid. Ooh,
What am I
it's
doing?
hot.
Oh.
And just let the peas cook.
It is hot.
Yeah.
Cool.
That lid too small?
Hmm?
Is that lid too small?
Yeah, the lid is not the right lid for this pan. This is your pan?
This is my pen.
Is it okay that the lid's too small? I have a bigger lid.
No, it's
I mean,
fine.
it's still holding it in.
It's totally fine. So now what we're going to do,
That's good.
while that's just going to simmer for a little bit,
Oh, sorry.
is Waylon.
Yeah.
Now comes the moment of truth.
Looks beautiful.
See that Cuisinart? That is.
This thing?
This is called
The
a hand.
sex toy?
Yeah, it's called a hand wand.
Hand wand.
Yeah.
So we'll do this part later upstairs.
So you said it wasn't very manly to make a soup. Well,
Well, it's even less
wrong.
manly to use a hand wand.
There you go. So you're just gonna like immersion blender. It's called, right? So just put it in and you move it around like that. You don't have to like put it into like a blender or anything or mess up.
And
any
you're
other kind of-
controlling it with that little thing.
right here. Okay, so do that.
Is there different speeds? Oh,
yeah,
high.
but just don't do it on high.
Oh, don't do it on high. Do it on low?
That's good.
Should I just hold down the low?
Yeah, Just don't forget about your pasta. 'Cause this is.
I forgot completely about the pasta. Wow, it just turned into like dal over in a second.
Well, yeah, but it's not.
Consistency-wise. Should I keep doing it?
Yeah. Make it nice and smooth.
So why do you do that? Because isn't it nice to have all the textures, have it all be separate?
I think a soup is beautiful when it's pureed. It's more elegant.
Are we good?
Oh, there we go.
More?
Hang on, I've got to.
It looks beautiful. Everything looks beautiful.
Okay, that looks good. Now, I actually think, so what I'm doing here is I'm saving out a cup of the pasta cooking water.
Oh yeah, why?
Well, because I might need it for
sauce?
Yeah. So now I'm just gonna
Look at Peggy's
drain the
beautiful dress.
pasta.
I love it.
What? What?
I was just telling the viewers to check you out.
Oh God. Now,
What do I do with this now? Do I just put it in the sink and wash it?
what we're gonna do now is add the pasta directly to the pot. Now, the problem here is that this is not a very big pan to.
I have a bigger pan.
You do?
I have a big one, yeah.
Where is it?
You want it? Oh, this one. This is what I was talking about.
Yeah, this one's hot though. We're fine. So then you add your pasta right directly.
I bought this pot with you, I think, because the last time.
Really?
Yeah, you're complaining, understandably, that I didn't own anything to cook with.
So we've made 2 dishes here. Can you see that? Now maybe that doesn't look so appetizing because it's green, but we're
No, it looks beautiful.
We're gonna fix it up.
This looks cool. I feel like
Oh, you know what we do need, Waylon?
What's that?
We need a bowl to put this in.
A bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Should the bowl be heated up or something?
That's okay.
A bowl for like serving?
Yeah.
Okay. One of the few things I'm prepared about is I have like beautiful local pottery all the time. I'm into pottery. Is that okay or too big?
No, that's not too big.
Too small?
It's almost too small. Do you have something a little more shallow?
Wide? Uh-huh.
If you do, that'd be good.
Hey.
So I'm just, where did that go? Just going to add a little bit more of that pasta water.
Is this too shallow? Or too small?
A little too small. But I'll work with this.
No, I got this one probably just right? A little bigger?
Yeah, that's pretty. That's okay.
I probably have more
Actually,
options.
No, let's use the red one.
Okay. I made that one.
You did?
Yeah, it's cherry blossoms.
Oh, maybe we should put it in there. Let's use that one. I want to use the one that, because it's springtime.
Yeah.
So.
Cherry blossoms. You can see I made it because it's really, I mean, it was sort of meant to be random, but.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's got a little.
Sorry?
I don't know what that is. Wow, you're good.
Okay.
Huh?
Here we go. Here we go.
Here?
Oh, wait.
It's alright if it gets a little heat for a moment.
Right.
We're almost at an hour.
Wow.
But that's fine. People can cook along with it. I'm going to try and do this whole thing.
Don't forget those.
Here, can I hold it?
Yeah. No. Do you have chopsticks?
It's funny. The mushrooms look like meat.
Do you have chopsticks?
I do. On the right. I can... Actually, I don't know where they are. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
It's
see
just
'em?
easier to move things around with chopsticks.
I like want to lick this pan. I want to lick everything.
Okay. So,
That looks beautiful.
yeah, it looks nice. So
What do you call it again?
Sprinkle. It's just, allora, pasta primavera. I'm just trying to get those peas in there.
You want to do something with the peas? Should I
No,
DM them?
no, we're not going to do anything with them now.
Okay.
Because we didn't have time.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm just trying to
I
get
like this video. We have something to eat at the end of it.
So the colors are still bright. You can see that.
Yeah.
And it would be really pretty with some grated cheese on top. But we're not going to do that. Some parsley on top. And look, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there you go. Oh, I thought I saw something pretty over here.
You're talking about Rachel?
Yeah, I was talking about it. I thought this was bigger, but it's not. But isn't that pretty? Okay,
It's
so
pretty.
there's
I
your
have a
pasta.
bigger one.
There's your pasta dish.
Cool. Should I grab it?
Yeah. And then choose your favorite bowl. How about one of these?
Oops.
And do you have a ladle? Because I didn't see one. A ladle.
A ladle.
Quickly.
Yes, I do.
Great.
Quickly. This drawer is a disaster.
I'll
find it.
Earlier, but I just... Oh, there it is. Okay, Waylon, here.
Hey.
Taste the soup.
You tasted it?
Mhm.
A little more salt.
Yeah. Okay, now, quickly, asparagus soup is always like, well, pea soup in general. This green, it's a bit thin. I actually would have liked it a little thicker than
You
this.
boil it down a little more?
Yeah,
Or
I
cook
would.
it down?
But that's still pretty nice.
You didn't boil it, right? It was
No.
just medium.
So I would now take a bit, and it's okay that it's not, totally salty, because we're going to take a little bit of this preserved lemon
Wow, look at
that
that.
we made
Rachel.
ourselves.
You show it to Rachel?
So we're going to use a little bit of this like a garnish on the soup. It's also delicious with a dollop of yogurt, but
With what?
a dollop of yogurt.
Okay.
I hope this sits.
Oh,
It's
because
not
if it was thicker,
sitting.
it would sit more.
Yeah, it's not sitting. That's okay.
It's swimming.
But it's in there, and it'll still be flavorful. We'll use a little drizzle of olive oil on top, and a bit of cilantro.
Beautiful.
You can make that.
Because a lot of it's the presentation helps make you hungry and enjoy it and
right.
appreciate it.
That's right. See, if there was a little bit of like white that could go on top, plus it's sour, adds sourness there, that would be really good. But the cilantro will help, and so will the preserved lemons. If you can just imagine how delicious that would be with sort of lemony, salty cilantro, with that soup. So basically, those are your two dishes.
Yummy.
Can you see? It's going to be delicious.
Beautiful.
And would you think your date would appreciate something like that?
Yeah, especially if I had a fancy name for it.
Okay, I told you.
I forgot it.
Passato di asparagi in pasta primavera.
Passato.
Passato means past, like
Passato
di
di
asparagi.
asparagi. Passato di asparagi. So you just have to practice that for about a week.
Yeah.
And so it sounds natural. And then, what are we going to do? Are we going to eat these?
Well, we can eat them, or you can say goodbye.
Yeah, we
I think
will.
we'll just say goodbye.
So, and then and then when do you clean up, do dishes? Like later, the next morning?
No, I like to sort of stay really clean when I'm working.
While you're doing it.
And then put some things away, and if you can wash up a little bit in between here and there, but don't worry about that. Like your date is more important.
Right. But I love doing it during.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool thing.
It's the right thing.
Well, thank you so much, Peggy Markel.
Nice to
a
be here
genuine
as
pleasure.
usual. I'm proud of you. You did a great job.
Well, I
Now
did
you
almost
have
nothing, obviously.
Two
but
things that you can make, and you know how to chop. You look relaxed in the kitchen, so I think you're going to be all right.
yeah, I would have to go
Yeah.
through a few times and do this part.
I think you're going to be all right, though. You're going to make it.
All right.
We'll have Bambini before too long. No.
Thank you. All right, Peggy Markel. Check her out. There's other videos on YouTube, and check out peggymarkel.com.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ciao.
Oh.